Time to get those hiking boots on and get up to the Star David atop of the mountain in Sakrisrøy. Good morning. You join me on top of a... Oh, fuck. Oops. Let's try that again. I think I forgot to plug something in. Good morning. You join me on today's episode on top of a mountain face, a hill face, just above Sakrisrøy. So here in the background there's some lovely peaks and the sunset is just coming over me now. As you can see it, well, I probably can't, it's going to get blown out, but needless to say, it's absolutely beautiful. So it's going to hopefully glow dark red if possible, but we'll settle for any bit of colour change. It'll be absolutely fantastic. Conditions are really good, there's no cloud whatsoever, although I wish there was a small bit of cloud in the distance here, but for the sun rising, it's absolutely perfect. Very quiet, they were the only ones here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 other photographers, but they are in our group. There is other photography groups scattered around Ireland, but for some strange reason I don't think they're getting the same shots that we are, unfortunately for them. But yeah, good time so far on the trip here at the Lofoten Islands. I'm really looking forward to getting more shots later on today, and maybe tonight we're going to do an all-nighter doing the aurora. Last night we were at the Dragon's Eye, got some very interesting shots and a few other bits and bobs. So yeah, going to try and see if I can find a better composition here. I have a shot in the bag already. I'm going to see if I can tickle my fancy a bit more. Alright, so talk soon. This scene was unreal. Views to die for, but I was missing something. The light was coming, but I needed clouds. So let's see what happens. Well, the light certainly came, but the clouds did not. So I had to put them in Luminar 4 at the touch of a button to really set this image off. Alright, so I've popped off a few shots and I'm shooting on the Canon ESR right now with the Sigma Art 12-24. Now, with the filter holder that I have, it's a very super wide angle filter holder, so I have to shoot at 14mm because of the vignetting. I can't shoot at 12mm, which is what it's rated for. But look, it doesn't really matter. So what I'm using is a 2-stop soft grad. Now there's no clouds for it, but I just wanted to have a bit more colour in the sky, so I can maybe manipulate that slightly in post. I also have a 6-stop filter on to kind of smoothen out the water, because with just a normal photograph of about what, 50th of a second, that the water's got too much texture in it, it's not coming up, it's not very pleasing to the eye. So what I've done is I put on the 6-stop filter, and that's kind of blowing it out to a 25-30 second exposure. And my settings right now are 30 seconds at f16 at ISO 50, and I'm producing quite a nice image. I'm quite happy with what I've got this morning. I've got a few different compositions. So I've got the one facing just right out here, I have another one facing out that way, and everywhere you look you've something to photograph. It's absolutely fantastic. Whew, what a great morning. Cold, very cold. especially since last night it was minus 10 degrees. We were photographing in, and especially at the Dragon's Eye. Like I said, we're picking the ice out of the water, and my hands were Baltic. I thought I was going to get frostbite, but no, I don't have to cut off any fingers today. Right, so let's go find another shot, will we? Yeah.
The light got harsh and very bland, so time to experiment a little bit further with Luminar 4 and push it to its limits. I gave it a little bit extra to see how far I really could push it.
Alright, so I've managed to grab the bearded one to come down for a chat. Hi buddy!
Well man.
Are you worried now that it's rubbing your head?
Yeah.
Do you see his lovely hat? Look at this hat.
I'm just waiting for him to swipe that hat. No! It's in the perfect position.
Someday I will get that hat. But anyway buddy, you're having fun this morning. Oh, first and foremost, thank you very much for bringing me on the trip, man. I really, really do appreciate it. I'm loving it.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. Like, but
yeah.
You know, asking about this morning, let's just talk about since we got here, which is about 52 hours ago. What's happened in the last 52 hours?
Do you know what? It's actually so hard to remember all of it, simply because we've had so much activity. Now we've worked really, really hard to get what we want, and for the normal Joe's up, it's going to be so much harder. Like, we've went with sleep deprivation, hunger. That can be dangerous.
Hunger strike.
That can be dangerous, you know. A couple of Bobby Sands around here now, but no, it's been tough going. We got to see the Northern Lights. We just blew up last night. We had the sunrise
and
at
the
Hamnoy.
The night before.
Yeah, 2 nights in a row.
2 nights of amazing Northern Lights.
The bridge at Hamnoy, the sunrise.
The bridge at Hamnoy yesterday morning was some of the best light I've ever witnessed in my life. This morning, light, as you can see the view behind us, the light this morning was phenomenal. That was pretty much a guarantee because it's cloudless everywhere, so we were guaranteed to get that side light. Whereas yesterday morning it was just the tiniest gap in the horizon, and because the sun over here in the winter, it doesn't, like, you know, at home go up, it actually goes across and up sideways. very slight.
Yeah.
So it's up so slow, so that smallest gap can last for an hour, which it did yesterday, and created the most sensational light I've ever seen, I think.
Yeah. It was almost blood red then, and the fact that it was the clouds were down so much that it was hitting only parts of the mountain, which I thought was more pleasing to die rather than having the whole thing lit up. Yeah. So I thought, it was like, this is absolutely epic. It's exactly what I pictured in my head before I came. So I had this bit of pre-visualization, and it worked out. It's exactly what I wanted, and like, I didn't think I was going to get all this in 1 week, and I'm not even here 1 week. We're here 2.5 days.
To sum it up, we arrived at like 5 a.m. on the Friday morning.
Yeah.
So it's now 10 a.m. on the Sunday morning. One of the guys summed it up nicely, Andrew, one of my clients, and basically he said after the first day and first night of shooting, he said, sure, we can just go home now. And that sums it up.
Alright, so come on, son.
I was like, what's going on?
We're going home, son. Yeah. No, it's just been unreal.
Yeah,
man.
we've been like, there's an element of luck as well, you know. Number one, you have to be here. Number two, you have to put yourself in the position, but then and wait. Like last night, we were out from 6 p.m. and we waited, and we got just the most sensational display. 5-minute display, like, just unbelievable.
It's like the Aurora on steroids, man. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Right, so enough chit chat. Let's go get more shots, yeah?
Breakfast.
Look. Breakfast. All right. Hey yo. Okay, so we've came down from the top of the big hill where we got our shot of the mountain just in the back of Sakrisrøy. Now we've come down to a place where I call it Krabby Bay, simply because when lads threw a crab in my bag yesterday, thought it was a hilarious joke. So yeah, I got a fabulous image of what I've elected to do is go for a long exposure, a 3-minute exposure on the foreground of snow on a rock, and a 3-minute exposure on the mountain in the background. And what I'll do is I'll blend those both images together in Photoshop, and I'll produce a lovely image. I hope so, and I'll just show that now. So I really hope that is a beautiful image. I really think it is going to be, especially once I blend the two of them and get it color corrected and make sure it's all nice and lovely. And I've got all this lovely water here washing up. It kind of gives that misty effect, you know. So yeah, I better get back to the van now, or else the rest of the crew will be crying saying, where am I? I might start moaning. So oopsie daisy. All right, come on, time to get up. I'm not one to post videos of or pictures of my food, but here's the picture of the food at. Yeah, I'm starting a new trend. Sean Kingston's a prick. Burn it.
You know, if you talk about being sick, you will be sick. It's like Google.
Go, Kevin, sick. You alright, Kev? Got a cuddle, Kevin?
Give Kev a cuddle.
That's the guy who keeps trying to friend me on Facebook. I don't understand why he just won.
Silly Billy.
Understand? No, like, you know. Don't want to be a friend, Andrew.
Well, sadly my time has come to an end in the Lofoten Islands, Norway. I hope you really enjoyed this little series, because I know I did. And I just want to say a big massive thanks to Bernard for bringing us all here, and I'm glad to say I've made friends for life on this trip of a lifetime. I got to see some of the most amazing sunrises and sunsets, northern lights, snow, epic mountains and loads more, all while having so much fun. Why don't you join me on my next trip to northern Italy, where we take on the mighty Dolomites and see what's in store. Thanks for watching, guys. Ayo!